Right, a quick update. A fair bit of work has gone on. You can see in the back the spin drifter bubbling away. You have a separate thread on that. It's only really bubbling to one side. The bubbles on the right hand side are a bit faint. The more I look at it there, the more I think it's algae, because I was sitting in the pond for about 5 months unused while the algae grew over it. I was using my previous pressure filter up till Friday, so I need maybe to just give it a rub of a brush or something might help, but certainly not something I'd be draining the pond down to look at just for that alone. The other ongoing issue has been the window. I dropped the level below the window to install the new filter, and when I brought it back up again, the leak was worse than ever. There was a lot of moisture down around that bottom left hand side. But strangely enough, as this problem was gone, it just seems to be sealing itself up again, and there might be a little bit of dampness there, but very little. And I'm in 2 minds. A sort of friend of mine who helped me do the filter install, we were saying maybe tomorrow we drop it down to a foot deep or so. I don't have a huge amount of livestock in there, and the pressure filter will keep going, so that's not an issue. And maybe just reseal the bottom of it, but now I'm wondering if it's worth the hassle. The Ultra Skim is working well. Have that there. As been said before by various other people, there isn't actually a leaf trap, so all the crap generally tends either you scoop it out or it goes down into the filter. At the moment it's not an issue. Still have a bit around the front, but that was largely because the mesh slipped down and trapped it all, and also I think as well the pump for the pressure filters in that corner, so I think there's a bit of a pull into that corner. I've turned it off for the minute to see if it helps, but and that's my overflow as well, but it's working well. And this is the pump, the pipe work running into the back of the shed. Far more complicated job than we thought, to be honest, and when I laid out the pipe work I had really no idea what filter I was going to get, so it wasn't done in any particular logical way. So we went for the skimmer. You can see is the 110mm in the middle. That's because that has a lighter pull, just to avoid a dead spot on one side of the drum. Whether that makes a lot of difference, I don't know. What else we decided to do, but that did make it even more complicated. And on the right you have the front standard bottom drain, on the left is the spin drifter, 2 returns on the left, the air pipe there on the right, and then the waste from the drum. And I also have water running from the water feed into the shed for the trickle flow. I'll show you the inside now, and this is the back part of the pond for the waterfall. So 2 of the returns are in there, are not connected up yet. I don't intend on using that until it gets a bit warmer. I just had it full there because we were using it for quickly topping off the main pond when we sort of opened up the valves for the filter initially. Instead of waiting to fill it with the tap, I was able to pump it in with a butt pump very quickly and top it off again and get the filter level up. So this is the filter house. As you can see, the DVS CL35, it has worked out really well. I did get some B&Q slabs there. They're 600 by 600 by 5 centimetre thick, and they worked out really well with the level. I did have a rubber mat on it, but it was working out a bit higher, so I took the rubber mat off, but I don't think that's a big issue. You can see in there where the drains, the feeds come in through the wall. You can probably see where the waste from the filter goes out as well. That's worked out really well. The pump is in there. It's a little bit of a weep off one of the unions on that pump, and I need to sort that out, but that's minimal. There's possibly one still here. Doesn't look as though bad as it was. Hopefully it's dried up as well. And the other one that's not connected up yet, I'm just waiting on a 4" to 1.5" connector. It's in the post to connect that up, but as I say, I'm not going to use it yet anyway. So on the left there is the DVS drum control, like the 2 variable pumps. The one on the left is the only one working, the 20,000. It's running at about 60% at the minute, so that's 76 watts, which isn't bad. And I also have the DVS 80 watt UV and I'm running both the bottom drain and the media, the biochamber off of 130, an Evolution Aqua 130. I did use two pumps, use the smaller pumps, but fiddling around with that and balancing the valves, it's pretty quiet, and I think it gives me all the power I need. The other problem that we came up against, which was fairly minor, was the 80 watt UV actually doesn't fit across the drum. I wasn't aware of that when I bought it, wasn't told that when I bought it. I was planning on drilling in here a 48mm hole, but I obviously checked, well thankfully I checked before I drilled it, and the 80 watt UV is just too long to span, so this was a fairly good solution. I was told by DVS that they recommend that you drill in just below the waist and insert it through into the centre of the drum, and that obviously didn't suit me because I wouldn't get the bulb out to change it. That wasn't an option, it's a very long bulb. So this is what I went for. Just got a 4-inch end cap, drilled that, siliconed it up, put the fitting in, and it's been perfect, it's working well. Just show you a bit inside, turn off the UV for a sec. As you can see there, the drill, hopefully it doesn't go to clean on here. You can see my trickle in there. Just have an on-off valve there, and then I have it balanced with a Pegler valve. It's easier to get it balanced there. I've measured it roughly, I have a meter from Boyer on order, but I've measured it roughly at about 3 litres a minute, which should give me about 3,000 litre a week of water change, which is not too bad. I'm using an Awassi, which is, yeah, it's all right. I'm not getting any detectable chlorine at that very low trickle that I can see using DPD-4 tablets, but I know when I have it up at full flow, it's next to useless. There's no visible difference with the tablets between my tap water and it. I don't think it does chlorine, in fact I'm sure it doesn't, so I'll probably get a big blue or something fairly shortly, and it will be easy enough to plumb in with the hose block connectors. There's the media chamber bubbling away nicely. There's some Helix type media. It's not Helix, it's one of the generic brands, but it's just 100 litres in there. It holds 150, but that's working well. So all in all, very happy. The other thing I found that was odd was the air connection on the back for the biofilter was a 25mm, which was big, and I was trying to find an adapter and couldn't really, so I came with this solution. I got some 25mm pipe in the local B&Q and managed to get 25mm to 12mm adapter and stuck that together, so it works well. So I'm happy with the air setup, happy with, you know, the filter's really been flawless. The level is probably fairly much spot on. It's near enough to the minimum allowed water level, but it is within the tolerance and it is working well. It seems to be cleaning at the minute about once every 30 minutes or so, and maybe when the pond clears a bit more that might stretch, but really happy with the setup. Cheers.